Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very special edition of Siriani Says Sports. I'm Matt Siriani, and today, it's a little bit spelled wrong. Hold on, let me just hide that for a second, and I'll fix it in a second. Hold on. Um, yeah, hold on a second here. All right, there we go. There we go. We fixed the spelling error. So anyway, thank you again. This is Siriani Says Sports episode number 126, and yes, as you could tell, I am alone right now, but I am not far behind alone. Loro and Ryan will join the show very shortly, at 7:30 to be exact. So I wanted to get into the whole purpose of why I'm here alone and why I wanted to say this very passionately. So the whole purpose of this episode today is to get an interview with Steve Barth of Jag-One Physical Therapy and one of the big minds behind the Staten Island Baseball High School Senior Games. For those of you who do not know, the Staten Island Baseball High School Senior Games was an event that started back in 2012 when Steve and Joe Saraceno put the event together in a ballpark. They raised $18,000 in their first year. They've raised over $300,000 since then. This is going to be the 12th year that this event goes on, and the third year in a row that I'm participating in this event and helping out. So, the whole purpose of this event is to bring the autistic community together. I've shared this many times on my social media, and I've talked about it many times to people that I know, to people that I care about, to people that are family of mine. This fundraiser event is going to be very, very important to the community and very, very important to the guys at Jag-One and Grace and On Your Mark and all the other charities that are responsible for putting this event together. I have a bunch of questions to ask Steve, only 7 of them to be exact, and Steve will be joining me at approximately 7:05, so that's about a few minutes away. But in the meantime, I wanted to enlighten everybody that doesn't know about the Staten Island Senior Games, that see me post about it all the time, that are asking me the question, you know, why are you so passionate about this event and what is this about? Well, the event is all about just bringing people together. Staten Island is a very big autistic population. The guys at Jag-One, Steve and Joe, they're very passionate about this event. They've been doing this for, like I said, a dozen years now. This is my third year in a row doing this. I first started in 2021, the year after they couldn't have it in 2020 because of you know why. But obviously, it's a great event. And I'm very, very happy to be sharing the spotlight with someone who's very passionate about this event as Steve Barth. And actually, let's bring Steve in right now. Steve, how are you?
Hey guys, what's up, Matt? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Great having you on. I
Yeah,
appreciate you taking the time to spend it with me this evening.
sure.
All right. So I just enlightened the audience a little bit about the Staten Island Baseball High School Senior Games. I mentioned this is going to be the 12th year that this is happening, so this is obviously very, very big. The fact that it's been going on for this long. I gotta ask you, my first question is, what inspired you to do this event, and what made it what it is today?
Well, back in the day, 2012 or so, we were a large sponsor for the Staten Island Yankees,
Mm,
and part of our sponsorship was they had given us the rights to use the field for a day in whatever capacity we wanted. So, in speaking, we could have did a company baseball, softball game, all different types of things. But we said, we wanted to find something to give back to our baseball community. And we came up with the idea of a high school senior game, not so much of an all-star game, but to give back to the seniors who have, spent almost a lifetime of hard work, discipline, dedication, commitment.
right.
Um, and we wanted to give back to the baseball community. So we came up with this game and we said, okay, let's do something where we can get the Catholic schools versus the public schools and make a nice kind of little interplay or interleague play. And at the same time, we wanted to make it even bigger and add a charitable event to it. And autism is one of those conditions that a lot of our families and friends have a lot of family and friends that are affected by autism. So
That's right.
that's where it all started.
Do you have any personal experience or any family members that are on the spectrum?
I have my godmother's sons. So I guess he's kind of like my cousin. His sons,
Right.
two of them, twins, believe it or not, are both autistic. And yeah, just friends, knowing people and friends, but that's really the only family members that I have. But I think we all know someone or some or many that are affected, especially these days.
Yeah, before we move on to my next question, I'm a huge supporter of the autistic community. I'm on the spectrum. I think I've shared that with you.
Sure.
My friends that I've known since childhood, my two best friends, they're on the spectrum, and my colleague Loro Antonio is on the spectrum as well. And I told them that we were doing this event, planning it and putting it together, and they were really, really excited about it. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that we get to do this for the third year in a row. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2021, helping you guys out. And for the first time, my father won't be hovering over you guys. I got your back, and I can't wait for this.
Well, you guys have been such a great addition to us, making the games that much better every year. Your whole team has really contributed and made this thing really what it is right now, and probably getting better and better each year. And a lot of it's because of your contributions and your involvement, and your dad and your whole baseball or team of guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What impact does this game have on the Staten Island community? I mentioned before Staten Island is a pretty big autistic population, but what does this event mean to that community in general?
I think just unity, continually bringing the unity into community and in helping each other out and being there for one another, and continually understanding each and every one of the hardships that we go through as families. And everybody's got their stuff, so to speak. But sometimes these conditions can really weigh a lot on a family, just in support and financials. And it's just another way of continually servicing our community, and giving back to our community. And I think that's our biggest thing, is that unity.
Now, I mentioned before a lot of special guests have come and gone to this event over the last decade plus. You had, I think, a fitness instructor last year attend the Challenger game and help out the kids, which I thought was awesome. Do you have anyone in the works or in the cards for who's going to participate in this year's Challenger game or event in general?
Not so much. I'm reaching out to Jason Marquis, and maybe he'll make a guest appearance as a
Wow.
future, former major leaguer. He's in Jersey and busy with his own son's baseball schedule, so he said he'll do his best. We'll see. Last year we had Nikki Sorrentino, or was that 2 years ago? She's one of the, an artist, musician, artist. Last year we had the Miss Staten Island who sang our national anthem. So she
Mhm.
might come down and sing the national anthem again. And you never know. Maybe there'll be a surprise. Me and Joe are talking about, okay, is there anybody else that we can reach out to? So you never know.
So I gotta give you a suggestion here
Sure.
because there's a guy from Los Angeles, California. So this is gonna be hard to reach, but there's a guy named Tony Snell who's an NBA player, a former NBA player. He
Okay.
he found out that he was diagnosed with autism at age 31 after his son was diagnosed. And I reached out to Tony, thinking that this would be a great idea, having a former NBA player to come support the kids, support the event. I figured that would be a cool idea, but honestly, Tony never got back to me. But I tried for you guys, but that's
Yeah.
just the lengths I'm willing to go to for this.
Yeah, it would be good into looking in. I'll research a little bit and see if there's any other any other like really maybe baseball athletes that are local that are in that have family members that are affected with autism, and maybe there's
Right.
some way we could continue to work together at seeing if there's anybody else that would be able to come down on a Friday night and yeah, maybe share a few words with the community.
That would be awesome. Well, it was always about planning. So I mentioned planning just a second ago. How much planning and preparation goes into this event to make it as special as it is?
Well, there's definitely a lot of planning. I mean, luckily each year it's gotten easier as we continue to improve things and we have more of a team around us. I think the hardest challenges are getting in contact with all the seniors, and getting their information so we can get invitations out and scholarship applications and reaching out to community, but continually the promotional ways of social media and such, and getting the game out there. And then it's just kind of putting the pieces together. The sponsors is another big one where we're
Uh-huh.
continually, but luckily a lot of the sponsors will continue to sponsor each year, and it's just a few phone calls and getting people, but it's the new people and that we want to keep reaching out to and getting a bigger audience. And but for the most part, it's all the contacts, I think, and that kind of thing that makes it harder. But luckily, it gets easier each year because we have the continued support from you guys and Mid
Hmm.
Island Little League and the complex and Babe Ruth. So we have a lot of people on our side that look forward to the games and really enjoy being a part of it.
All right, so this question just kind of came up with the continued support. I've mentioned before you've raised over $300,000 in the past dozen years with this event.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain goal of how much money you want to raise, or are you just gonna take what you come?
Well, listen, we'll take anything we can get is helpful, but each year we try to raise the bar a little bit. The more we raise, the more we can give back, and continue to support the Songbird Foundation and be able to help others in our community with all different other charity events that we can add to. But I think it was somewhere around 50,000 or maybe even close to 60 last year.
Hmm.
I don't have a number, but it would be great if we can set it at a little bit higher, maybe 70, 75,000 there that we can raise, and we can give back to a few of the different families that we're going to give back to, the honorees, as well as the organizations themselves. Yeah, so we're hoping to raise the bar each year.
That's great. I like that. I like that. Raising the bar every year, making the event as better as it could be to and please the people and entice
That's
them to
right.
want to donate. That's great. All right, now I want to get into some game related questions because we have a lot of seniors coming out, baseball, softball, that are participating in this event. What players participating in this year's games really stand out to you as someone that could be a potential major leaguer or someone that reminds you of a major leaguer, past or present?
Well, the cool part about this year is we have, I want to say, one, two, three, four, five, six, at least six that played because they're seniors that played in the Mid Island, the Little League World Series when
Wow.
they were 12 years old. So I guess that was 4 years ago or so. They were in Mid Island Little League World Series. The main notable that made a name for himself was Gregory Bruno.
Hmm.
He was the main pitcher at the time. Steven Martinez, another great kid. Derek Mendez, Chris Cancel, Tom Puglisi,
Hmm.
Jason Hanna, and John Calabrese. But I believe this year both Bruno and Cancel, unfortunately, will be in Florida for a travel tournament.
Mm.
So we should have the rest of those guys as part of the team, and part of the event. It's a shame that Gregory Bruno and Cancel are not going to be there. It doesn't appear to be.
Right.
Um, but those are the pretty notables, which is pretty cool. And we have Joseph Manella, who was the won the Old Timers Award this year. He was the most outstanding player of the year. Great kid. A lot of these kids, believe it or not, were my patients in physical therapy
Wow.
for different injuries of their own. So it's pretty cool to watch them. I'm excited to watch them play after some long bouts of rehab, different types of surgeries and injuries, and to watch them work hard and get back on the field and then to play in this game is really special.
Must be special to you to watch former patients that you had rise above and play in an event that's organized by you guys. It must really hit
Yeah.
home a little bit.
That's the coolest part about it is when I see those kids that I've known some of these kids from when they're young. I've had these kids, some of them 10, 12 years old, and then through high school, depending on when I see them, hopefully not too much, but some of them gone through some Tommy John injuries and
Right.
surgeries, shoulder surgeries, different types of elbow issues, all different types of stuff. So yeah, to watch them grind it out in rehab, which is not easy. and to make it back on the field through hard work and discipline and determination, and then to end their career possibly on that field that night, is something special. Hopefully, some of them continue to go play on and really make it a nice college career. And who knows, some of them are special kids, and I wouldn't doubt if one of them makes it pro.
All right. Well, one thing I am going to tell you is there are a lot of schools, public and Catholic. You mentioned that's the matchup we're getting for both baseball and softball, public versus Catholic. I like that little bit of rivalry there. What school has the most participants across baseball and softball this year?
It looks like we have St. Peter's is a big showing so far. We still don't have
Hmm.
all the responses back. Some of the kids are a little bit delayed in their acceptances and responses. We definitely have a good showing from St. Peter's, a very good showing from Newdorf High School on the public school side. They're always great participants, along with the coaches and Ray Smith. And on the Farrell side, we have a few Farrell kids so far, and we're hoping for a few more. We have their coaches in Bobby Mulligan and Tom Conroy as well that are always a big part of our games.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, any coaches that are involved from either public or Catholic that are going to be the center of attention managing these rosters?
Yeah, I mean the notables are the Bobby Mulligan and Tom Conroy, so they're and on the other side, that's the private school side. They usually had the private school side, and they've been a part ever since. I don't think they've missed a year. And Ray Smith and Ricky Rondino
Hmm.
also are helping out every year. Um, and Tony D'Alessandro is a big part of the public school side. So that's cool. We have one of the players is Richie Russarito from Newdorp, who the AD is from Newdorp, and his son will be playing in the game. And that's the other cool thing. A lot of guys that are my age that I played ball with, some of their sons are playing in this game. So it's pretty cool to see, and it's pretty special.
All right, next question I have, and this is in regards to the Bill Fanny Jr. Baseball Scholarship for men and the Scott Salinardi Scholarship for softball players. Um, do you have any idea as to who those scholarships are going to go to? And tell us a little bit about them.
Well, the scholarships are going to we have a seniors like a scholarship application that they fill out. So the deadline is next Friday. So we're still getting applications in. So we
Okay.
don't know we have a winner yet. Usually it takes us to the last week, and then we have a committee that decides on it. And really, we ask them. Obviously, their grade point average and their scholastics, but we ask them about community events and school activities that they're involved in. We ask them what their 5-year plan is or their future goals are. And then we ask them to write an essay about an obstacle that they have to and that they've been faced with in life and how they overcame it. So,
Mm,
a lot of times it's very hard to determine a winner. We have a lot of bright kids, a lot of scholar athletes. And sometimes it's the essay and what they say in the essay and really their life experiences, some of the obstacles that you can really, feel for them, that they kind of pour their heart out, some of them on paper, and touching stories. So after we read them there, and obviously we pick a winner, sometimes it takes us to the last day that we finally decide on an ultimate winner. So we don't have that yet. That'll be revealed at the game.
okay.
But on the boys' side, as well as the girls' side, will be given two scholarships of $2,500 each to the college of their choice that they'll be attending.
That's amazing. And it's
Yeah.
$2,500. Like that's a lot towards a scholarship.
It is, and and the chances are good. You're really not competing with such a large pool, so it's
Hmm.
worth it to put the time and the efforts into filling out the application because you never know.
You never know. Um, so when I first came into this experience a couple years ago, one of the things that I learned was it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of passion, and it takes a lot of um planning to get this event right, and I think I've done my due diligence to promote this event. I've done a good job posting on social media and telling people about it every day. I would go to bars, I would go to restrooms, I would go anywhere I go just to promote this event. But for those of you who don't know, Steve, tell people where you can donate and where to.
Yeah, I think the easiest one is the song. It's songbirdfoundation.org. And there's a way to just right on there to support, and you can donate right on there. There's sponsorships that are still available if people want to sponsor, but donations, they can go right on there. Obviously, at the game, if you're attending the game, there'll be other ways too. We're working on even new technologies through Venmo, possibly different ways that we can get it, barcodes. You can buy raffle tickets there. And, at the event, there's really a nice array of different raffles, from memorabilia to all different types of tech, that, people usually go home with something in their hand, because there's just a lot of great prizes and raffles that we can give away, as well as, obviously, buying raffle tickets.
Mhm.
But that's the best way. I mean, really, we'd love for people to come down. It's great to donate through the site and right to the organization. However, we'd love for people to come down and just experience the event. It's a fun night. This night will be on. This time it'll be on a Friday night, which we've done in the past. It'll be a little cooler, and it'll be a nice night for baseball. And there'll be food trucks and all the raffles and different types of and music. And we'll see if we can add anything else to spice it up a little bit. But we're very happy with the way things have gone and progressed each year, and we're hoping for another great year.
So I don't know if you recognized, I'm wearing the jersey and my Rutgers hat that
I
I
see
got
it.
that you guys gave me for when I first started attending the event and helping out. I remember you also made me throw the first pitch.
That's right.
My first year there. Do you have any idea who's going to be doing those honors this year?
Yeah, so we have two honorees. In one is his name is Anthony Pepe. He's going to represent the Grace Foundation,
Hmm.
and then the other one is Christopher Keeley, who's going to represent the Eden Foundation.
Nice.
And then this year, as more of a kind of surprise, we're going to be doing a in memory of a former honoree, Nicholas Diamora, who
Yes.
passed away recently. And he was one of our participants or honorees in 2014. And so we're going to honor him and his family, and and hopefully retire his number. But those are things that we trying to keep on the DL. So hopefully they
All
so,
right. That
so those are the honorees so far, and they'll throw out the first pitches. Yeah, so that's going to be cool.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, Now one thing I want to do before I send y'all, because I know you're a busy man, you got a busy schedule. Same here with me. Um, I would like you to look into that camera that you have and give the fans who are watching 2 minutes of why this event means so much to you and why they should come out and see it.
Well, again, I mean, this is just giving back to our community. And what we do each day as physical therapists at Jag-One Physical Therapy is service our community and getting people back from some of the worst times of their life, through injury and pain and conditions and depression and all different types of things of physical nature. We're getting people back to the life they love, and really getting their life back, to normal. So, we're always giving back to our community. And I think we realize that, really what it comes down to is service and being in service of others. And really, those are the types of things that, at the end of the day, you feel good about, and you have purpose in this life, and you go to work every day and with purpose, and we give back to community. And each day we wake up with purpose. So those are the things that inspire me, is to keep helping community and servicing our community and giving back, and really being there to support, especially those in need, through any type of support, whether it's just mental, emotional, physical, financial. And that's what our organization at Songbird is about: is continually giving back to the community, and servicing and helping others, and being there to just improve our community and continue to unite, especially in these times. It's more important than ever. And being aware, and making everyone aware of others around us, and being kind, all those good things that, just love, pure love. So, that's what it means to me the most. And I hope people can come and feel that energy, and feel that, passion, and feel that unity. And I hope everybody can come down and join us, and be a big part of that, and continue it for many years to come.
All right, now before I let you go, one thing I must request: I need a different hat to go with this jersey
Gotcha.
because as much as I love my alma mater, it'd be really weird to. I mean, the colors go well. I mean, but
Sure.
like, it goes well. But I need to be full on Staten baseball senior games out.
Yeah, I think we got
So
to get some hats. We usually let the players wear represent their team, but I think we might have to see if we can get some hats as well this year. We have the jerseys, but yeah, we might have to work on that, Maddie. I'll get you something there. We'll have to work on that one for you.
absolutely. Steve, thank you very much for taking the time to join me. I cannot wait. So, the Staten Baseball Senior Games event, for those of you who do not know, it's on July 14th. It's a Friday this year. The last 2 years it was a Saturday. They changed it to a Friday this year. So, mark that in your calendars. It's 3 weeks away from today at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. You'll see Steve, you'll see me, you'll see Joe Saraceno, you'll see the whole crew there. My father will not be there. He's got stuff that's not related to this. But anyway, Steve Barth, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Steve, for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, guys, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Be good.
All right. So again, that was Steve Barth, amazing guy. I've worked with him for the last. This is my third year now. I cannot say any more good things about this guy. He's just been phenomenal as a guy to talk to. He's been phenomenal as a guy who supports this community of autism. He's been a phenomenal benefit to the Grace Foundation event and the Grace Foundation in general, and just Jag-One and what he does for the former athletes and everything. Like, I can't get enough of this guy. He's just amazing. And again, if you Jag-One Physical Therapy is one of our sponsors for Siriani Says Sports. Uh, Getting people back to life they love. It's all amazing stuff. And if you want to go find out more about Jag-One Physical Therapy, go jag1pt.com. That's their website. You can go on that website and you'll find out all the resources and what they have to offer and all the whole 9 yards. It's amazing stuff. But again, Steve Barth was just an amazing guest. I had him on for a good amount of time, and I'm glad we got to promote this event. And also, I post this event on a weekly basis or every other week or every other day sometimes, that the fundraiser page. I want to give a shout out to the people of the Discord that I'm in, the Colorcast Sportscasters Unite Discord. I put that link in the Discord for the Songbird Foundation, and they absolutely went nuts. And we got big pod donations from it. A couple people from Michigan donated because they can relate to what I go through on a daily basis, being someone with autism, though they have family members with autism. But it really just means the world to these kids. It means the world to me. It means the world to Steve and Joe. It means the world to the charities that participate in this event every year. It's just an amazing cause. And autism is just one of those things that during the COVID pandemic, when autistic people were locked up and they had to be shut down and nothing was open, it was one of those things where it's like you feel bad for those kids the most because you just didn't know how they were going to react or how they were going to go about their day being locked up in a house without seeing their friends or family from afar. And it really just means the world to me to take part in this. I'm getting a little emotional here. Um, but again, like it's all amazing stuff. And if you can come out to this event on July 14th, which is again 3 weeks away, plan ahead and that I'll see you there. It's just amazing stuff. I can see that Steve is still in the background. He can still see me doing this, but again, like it's just awesome stuff, and I really appreciate everything that being a part of this community does. It means so much to talk to these people. And up, you got the man, the myth, the legend coming in, Ryan Barringer Jr. coming in. He's just getting his camera situated. So for the final half hour of the show, Ryan and I will go over the picks for baseball. And there's Ryan Barron
I
Jr. right
made it.
now.
Oh, I made it.
All right. So Ryan Barron Jr., how you doing, buddy?
Good. I can say one thing: if you don't gotta ever drive into Jersey City or the city, don't ever do it. Never again.
Okay.
Awful. Jersey Shore traffic on a Friday is not the most fun thing ever.
No, it is not. All right. So now that you're here, you missed a really good interview. I had Steve Barth on for a good 25 minutes, talk about the Staten Baseball High School senior games, and we had a really good conversation. Um, I'm really excited about this. It's unfortunate you can't be a part of this because you got a lot of stuff going on. But Leslie Angeletti commented saying, "Love the hair, Cuzzy Jr."
It's luscious.
There you go.
The flow, Maddie, it works well. I like
It
it.
works really well, doesn't it? Um, so what we're gonna do, and because Ryan Jr. is become a pro at this,
I wouldn't say pro.
um, I gotta give you some credit.
Thank you.
So I gotta give you some credit. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the 5 games coming up tonight
Mhm.
in Major League Baseball from Central Time Zones to Western Time Zones. And what we're going to do is we're also going to get your analysis, and also I'm going to give my analysis. And if you win some money from me and Ryan, you're welcome.
We got you. We don't charge a fee. We're just here.
We don't charge a fee. Okay. So, first off, we got Red Sox versus White Sox. Boston odds are minus 115. Under and over is 8.5 runs. And take care, Maddie. Have a good evening. See you soon. Thank you, says Steve Barth in a private chat. I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you so much. I was going to take that off too. There we go. All right, so Red Sox, White Sox in Chicago. Boston odds minus 115. Under over 8.5 runs. It'll be Brian Bello of Boston taking on Lucas Giolito of Chicago. Ryan, where do you go with this?
I think I'm gonna go White Sox in a battle of the Sox. Personally, I just don't know this guy Brian Bell that well. I know Yankee fans are gonna say, "Oh, he pitched well against the Yankees." The Yankees suck, right? I'm gonna say it. I'll own it. They suck. So I'm not gonna take one start out of him on a doubleheader night. Who he pitched good, right? But I want to see him pitch against a White Sox team that, yeah, they have been struggling, but they got a lot of guys on offense. Obviously, Tim Anderson, Andrew Benintendi, Luis Robert, who's probably one of the best center fielders in baseball this year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Eloy Jimenez, and then so I think I got the White Sox in this just to cover, just to win, and then the 8.5 runs. I think I go under on that.
Under.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair point. I'd probably go under as well, although I'd probably take Boston minus 115. I like those odds a lot, especially because Chicago is very inconsistent. I'm not really a big fan of their pitching. Their hitting is eh. You know, Tim Anderson hasn't been able to stay healthy, so that's been killing their team.
Mm-hmm.
But I do got to say this. I like Justin Turner ever since he came to Boston. He's been a killer to the Yankees, at least, but he's been really good in general this year. Also, Rafael Devers has been playing good. And also, everyone in that division, the AL East, is above 500, so you
It's
can't really complain about that.
The
It's
AL
disgusting.
it comes back. The AL Beast comes back every year.
The AL Beast.
Oh,
All right, so I have Boston minus 115. You have Chicago plus 115. We both have under 8.5 runs, and that's where our pick is. Lock it in. So, Angels and Rockies. Angels minus 160. Over and under 11.5 runs. It's Pablo Sandoval versus Kyle Freeland. Where do you go with this?
The Angels. The Angels are actually good this year. And we know on offense they were good. Obviously, they have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, right? Arguably, Mike Trout's probably the best player of this decade, right?
Yeah.
And then Ohtani's just a freak, right? Obviously, it sucks that Anthony Rendon is hurt right now, but I still think Brandon Drury is underrated. I think Hunter Renfroe, for all the teams he's been on, has not really been appreciated as much. But the Rockies, dude, the Rockies are just bad. It comes back to those teams in football, like the Texans, the Jets, like the Lions. You always pick the team that plays them because they just don't win. And the Rockies are last in the NL West. They're not a good baseball team. I think the Angels should take care of business tonight. And then you said the under-over is what?
The under-over is 11.5 runs.
I'd go under.
Really?
I don't think the Angels are spotting 11 on them.
Well, it's you gotta remember it's 11.5 total runs, and honestly,
I know. I don't. Maddie, the Rockies were terrible. They're terrible.
well, the Angels are really good, and you want to know why this under and over is so high? Because in Colorado, the
I
altitude,
know the balls fly. Yep.
the balls fly in Colorado. It's one of those things that they're enticing you to bet the over, and honestly, I'm a sucker for that. I'm gonna
It's
go with
it's
the
it,
over.
it's what Big D calls it. What is it called? A sucker's bet. They're
It's a
telling
sucker
you,
bet,
they're
yeah.
begging you to pick the over. They're begging you to do it.
They're begging you to bet the over, and I'm gonna go with the Angels minus 160 as well because they're just too good. I don't care if Pablo Sandoval is on the mound tonight. Kyle Freeland's just
Ooh.
exactly. I really don't know. I'm not intimidated by the Rockies. I like it. I like the fact that it's in Colorado and the Colorado Rockies stink. Boom, there's your over. Boom, there's the Angels.
Exactly.
But you're going under and you're taking the Angels.
Yes, under Angels.
Okay. Next up, we go to a West Coast matchup. We got the Washington Nationals versus the San Diego Padres. Padres minus 292 odds.
Yeah.
Under over 8 runs, and this is probably the reason why. Patrick Corbin versus Joe Musgrove.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going San Diego. I mean, Joe Musgrove, right? The ERA is not great. The record's 5-2, really good, right? The strikeouts are about where we expect for Joe Musgrove, right? But
Mhm.
I just think he's had some bad starts. But again, same thing like the Rockies, the Nationals, they are a bad baseball team. And I would say the Padres aren't world beaters. They're not the best team, right? But
Mm.
you look on their team, Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, like Cronenworth, like they're loaded, right? And I just think the Nationals, they really have nobody. Their pitching's not great. And just with Joe Musgrove on the mound, I think the reason those odds are minus that is because I think it's pretty obvious that the Padres are going to win. But, and then what's the under over?
The under and over is 8.
I'd go over.
All right, I'm gonna take the over as well. The 292. My God, you bet 100, you get 292 if they win.
Ugh.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, but I take that. I take that. Patrick Corbin stuff.
No, it's you got to bet 292 to win 100, 295 to win 100.
I take that odd still. Patrick Corbin sucks.
No, I know, but the minus is what you got to put down to get 100. It's terrible.
Okay, that's ridiculous. And I'm also gonna go with the Padres as well. I'm gonna go over 8 runs. This is just easy for me. I know Joe Musgrove is good, but I think he's due for a bad game. Next up, we got the 2017 World Series rematch. We got the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are about equal at this point in the year. Both teams are trying to chase playoff spots. They're both currently the third wild card in their respective conferences. Dodgers minus 140, under and over 8.5 runs. It's JP France versus second start for Emmett Shaheen. Ryan, where do you go?
Ugh. It does suck that the best two Astros pitchers pitched both games against the Mets and Christian Javier and Framber Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a tough one, right? Because it's so hard to pick the team that has a guy that's never pitched before. Like as a starter, it's tough, right? And obviously, both teams are not where they wanted to be, right? The Diamondbacks are leading the NL West, right? And the Texas Rangers are leading the AL West. So I think both these two teams are in positions where they really didn't think they'd be in. And obviously with Houston, with the loss of Yordan Alvarez for right now, and obviously the Dodgers with just not great production out of some of their key guys that they needed.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna take the Astros. I think I'm going to. As much as my boy Lauro is not gonna want to hear that. I mean, he's not gonna have to hear it, but you know. But I'm gonna take the Astros tonight. I can't put my faith, Maddie, in a guy like who doesn't have any starts. Like I can't.
All right.
And then what's the over under?
8.5 runs.
Oh, slam the over. These teams are gonna score. They're gonna score.
Oh yeah. No shot. This game goes under. No shot. I'm gonna take the Dodgers in this one. It's because Emmett Shaheen in the one start he had 6 no-hit innings, so he looked pretty good. But now it's his second start. I think the nerves are gonna be less.
There's more film on him. This is a
There's
better
more,
team.
there's more film on him. He'll be less nervous. The nerves will be out. I think he'll pitch good. Plus, the Astros are not that good, especially you mentioned no Yordan Alvarez. That's a big part of their offense gone in Houston.
Yeah.
That's a big part of their offense that's gone. So I'm going to take the Dodgers minus 140, and I'm going to go over because even though without Yordan Alvarez, the Dodgers can prove that they could score. The Astros could score too, even without Yordan Alvarez. So obviously this is an easy over.
Oh yeah.
And then, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So now we got the final matchup. This is a battle of two division rivals, one shockingly in first place in the NL West, and one in a playoff position right now. We got the Diamondbacks versus the Giants. San Francisco minus 178. The over-under is 8 runs. It's Zach Davies of Arizona versus Logan Webb of San Fran. Ryan, where do you go here?
I'm going the San Francisco Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going based off because of pitching, because looking at the ERAs right of both guys, right? Logan Webb's got a 3.11, which is about league average, right? And Zach
Right.
Davies is kind of about a 7.1, which is not the best. It's not the best. I'm just gonna say. Also, Logan Webb has great numbers, even though the average is a little bit high. 96 strikeouts, only 20 walks, a WHIP of 1.1, which for you those who don't know is really, really, really good. For you, WHIP's like under 1.2, it's like insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take your Logan Webb because I think offensively, I think they're kind of similar. I think obviously the Diamondbacks are a little bit better, right? Based with Lourdes Gurriel Jr., with Kendall Marte, and the rookie of the year guy. What's his name?
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll. There you go.
Oh, for the Giants or for the D-backs?
No, for the D-backs. Corbin
Oh
Carroll.
yeah, Corbin Carroll. Yeah.
But I just think the pitching matchup, Maddie, for me is gonna do it. And then the over is 8.5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I think I'm gonna go under. That's
All right, so the Giants are coming off a loss. They ended their 10-game win streak. They were hot a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They were red hot. They looked like they were at the top of the division. They were going to try and compete with the Diamondbacks. Now here's their chance. Diamondbacks look really good. Zach Davies is not really stunning to me as far as his ERA and his numbers this season are concerned. So I think I am going to go with the Giants, plus it's in San Fran, so there's home field advantage. 178 odds, though, that's enticing. Over under 8.5.
That's a hard line. That's a hard line.
That's a really hard line because both these teams have their ups and downs when it comes to scoring. I think there's going to be a surprising pitcher's duel. I'm going to say this game goes under.
Ooh, I have under. I don't know if it's going to be.
And then, yeah, Logan Webb. All right, so now let's go into some scores right now for Major League Baseball. We got the Twins and Tigers. Twins up 3-0 over the Tigers right now in Detroit. Braves and Reds 5-2 Atlanta. No surprise. Marlins up 1-0 over the Pirates. No, that's not a surprise either. Rays and Royals tied at 3, bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, but is Wander Franco playing or is he still benched?
He's benched for being a bad teammate.
Yeah.
Phillies and Mets. Mets need to have something going. They just haven't gotten nothing right. Athletics and Blue Jays. Blue Jays are trying to get into a wild card spot. They're 3-0 down to the Athletics.
What's the hashtag sell the team?
And then the Brewers and Guardians. Brewers up 1-0, and then the Mariners, and then the games that are yet to be played. 5 games we just mentioned, and then also
The Yankees.
the Red Hot Orioles versus the Mariners is also delayed.
The Yankees 1-0. Yes.
What happened?
Billy McKinney RBI ground out.
That guy's been hot. That guy's been red hot lately.
Maddie, you saw the tweet I said? Ohtani who?
Oh yeah.
We got IKF, baby. We got the better pitcher. The better hitter.
So
IKF hits a home run in his day pitching. What a beast.
So let me just ask you a question in regards to the standings right now, and I'm pretty confident I know what you're going to say. What the frig is going on here with the Yankees?
Do I got to read the stat I sent you all? So, again, thank you, Twitter, right? So I saw a stat last night for all of you, and I sent it to Matt, and it made me actually literally throw up my mouth. So since Aaron Judge has been hurt, the Yankees 4 quote-unquote stars, right? Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Rizzo, DJ LeMahieu, Josh Donaldson. Giancarlo, and this is all since Judge has been out. Giancarlo
Mhm.
Stanton is hitting .89, like
Oh my god.
0.89 RBI and a 358 OPS. That is terrible. Rizzo is hitting .143 with
Not
5
good.
RBIs and a .4 like 467 OPS, which again is terrible. DJ LeMahieu, 147, 2 RBIs, 436 OPS.
It
And
gets the one that makes me laugh.
then Josh Donaldson, the new Aaron Hicks, the new Joey Gallo. It's just Maddie. Like every time, it's just a train, dude. It's Joey Gallo, it's Aaron Hicks, now it's Donaldson. Who's next? Probably Staten, probably DJ, maybe Volpe. I don't know. It's just an endless food train. And then last night, Maddie, I know you got a little frustrated. Me and my dad were sitting there and we were just laughing. Donaldson just he can't hit. And now we can't take the ball out of his glove. I mean,
Just a disaster. Just a disaster.
Jonathan is hitting 103 with 4 RBIs and a 533 OPS. And the only reason he has over 5 OPS is because he has 5 home runs since he's came back. Again, they've all been solo shots, and none of them, except for one, has helped the Yankees win a game. So good job, Donaldson, with garbage time home run. You rock, buddy. Good job. But yeah, that is foul. But thank you to Mr. Gleyber Torres for kind of being the only consistent guy that we can rely on as Yankee fans outside of these people they brought in, like Billy McKinney, Jake Bowers,
Yeah.
Willie Calhoun. Like, I don't know.
And then the worst part about it too is that the Harrison Bader came back and he hasn't been performing too well.
Yeah, Maddie, this is the problem, Maddie. The Yankees suck and it's in the middle of the summer. There's nothing else on.
There's nothing else on. No football.
It was okay. Right, watching Wemby go 1 and then watching the Thompson twins go 4 and 5. But like baseball.
For another 2.5 months.
Please, football, please. Please. If there was ever a time for a big NBA trade or a big NFL trade, like, come on. Please.
Well, there was an NBA trade outside the NBA draft. Chris Paul got traded to the Warriors in exchange for Jordan Poole. What do you make of this? I think that it's honestly a lose-lose situation because Chris Paul is past his prime, and I think Jordan Poole is overrated. He's not really that good these days.
It is overrated, but it was a good move by the Warriors because they've been wanting to offer Jordan Poole's contract. I think Jordan Poole's contract is like 3 or 4 more years for a decent amount of money.
Right.
And honestly don't like Jordan Poole because I think he's like kind of cocky and I think he thinks that he's like the new Steph Curry. It's like he's not even close just because he can shoot. Like he thinks he's Steph and he's not. And he's just not that smart. He makes stupid passes. He makes stupid decisions. And frankly, he was kind of the reason why they lost to the Lakers because outside of Steph off the bench, Jordan Poole was supposed to be their guy off the bench and he was a liability. He was like barely playable.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Bradley Beal thing, Maddie, did you see now that the NBA is pissed about no trade clauses?
I heard about that.
Well, did you hear what Bradley Beal said to the Wizards?
What did he say?
He said, I'm only going to, so how it was like him and like Phoenix and Miami, right? With the 2 teams in it.
Uh-huh.
Then he narrowed it down to Phoenix, right? So he told the Wizards, right? He goes, I want to go to Phoenix, but he goes, I will only go to Phoenix if they do not trade DeAndre Ayton. That's why DeAndre Ayton's still a Phoenix Sun, and that's why they're going to now trade Ayton for more picks. So that's why, like, when we saw the conversation with 6 second-round picks, like pick swaps, which, if you guys don't know, pick swaps in the NBA, they don't matter. They don't matter, especially when they're so late in the first. It doesn't matter. And then second-round picks, just whatever. And then, like, so they basically traded Bradley Beal for, like, a couple pick swaps, and then Doritos, Lay's, Fritos, and, like, Cheetos, not the crunchy ones, the puffs. But yeah, they basically got nothing for him. And then they got Chris Paul, who's 45, basically just a walking like corpse. But no, it's like they're saying now that no like players are going to get no trade clauses because of that right there, because that's wrong. And like I had the argument with my dad. I'll bring it up to you. Who's more at fault, Bradley Beal or the Wizards?
The Wizards are my fault.
That's what I thought because I'm sitting there and I'm like, the Wizards should have said, like, listen, buddy, that sucks for you. You're sitting here and you're playing, or we're not trading you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is like it's also their problem too because like first off, they should have been stronger on their heels and said, listen, you can't do this to us. But they should never gave him that max extension. That was stupid. Like you know the term Maddie, right? And I'm gonna say it about the Blazers too. You want to trade a guy a year? You rather trade a guy a year early than a year late.
You're early.
You rather trade a guy a year early than a year late.
Oh, you're late. A year late.
That's what happened with Russell Wilson. That like Denver traded him a year early, so they got the benefits, right? Where the Packers now traded Rodgers later than they should have. They should have traded him after he won the second MVP.
Yeah.
But now they didn't get as much because they like that's the saying. Because with Damian Lillard now, right, is the Blazers should trade him right now. They should trade him right now because this is when they can get the most. If they keep sucking, Lillard's only going to get older. That trade compensation goes down.
Well, didn't Lillard have a 70-point game last year? I think he did.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they can get the most value now. If you're the Blazers, right, you're not going to win. I'm sorry. Like it doesn't matter how good Scoot. You saw the draft, right?
Yeah, Scoot Henderson.
No matter how good Scoot Henderson is, Anthony Simons, however good these are, they're not getting past Denver. They're not getting past Phoenix. They're not getting past the Lakers. They're not getting past the Warriors. They're not. It's just not going to happen. They're probably not getting past Memphis either. So they got to look at it and be like, listen, Dame, he's got to go because this is one they can cash out. They can get 4 first-round picks, young players. They can get a lot to build around this young team. And I think that's what they got to do. They got to be Maddie kind of like the Thunder, like the Rockets, where the Thunder have Chet, they have Giddey, they just drafted Osor Thompson, I think. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they drafted a bunch of the Rockets, have Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Alperen Sengun. They drafted Amen Thompson yesterday. Right? They got to be like these young teams. They got to understand they got a young core and a really good veteran right now who they can flip to rebuild this team because they're not going to win. And then you saw the other rumors about Zach LaVine and they're saying Zach LaVine's camp doesn't want to go to the Knicks because the Knicks wanted to trade for Zach LaVine, but him and his camp don't want to go. I do not want the Knicks to trade for Paul George. I want him nowhere near this team. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are both walking injuries at this point. Don't
even bother. Don't even bother.
$40 million injuries. I don't want them. But like, I don't know. The basketball is like, I don't know. I think because we heard that Dame's going to make his decision this week, like this coming week, whether he don't want to stay or request the trade. Mm-hmm. I personally think he's gone.
Okay.
What do you think? I think he's gone.
I think he's gone too. The Blazers have given him so much shit over the last several years. It's really no worth saying there. And plus, he's even made references to being traded for years. He's done this.
I know, and the thing is also like we talk like it's Portland, right? It's not like it's New York or it's not like it's Chicago.
It's a bad market. It's a bad market.
Exactly. And like honestly, dude, I think if he's on the market, I think the Miami Heat are going to be the team that gets him. I think they're going to go all in for that guy.
I heard that he wants to go either one of two places. Brooklyn because Mikal Bridges is his boy, and then Miami because Bam Adebayo is his boy. And I'm thinking to myself, listen, if you come to Brooklyn, it's not going to be pretty.
Miami's got a better package than Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn's got nothing.
Because Brooklyn, they're not going to trade Bridges, and they're not going to trade Cam Johnson, I don't think.
No.
So what are you going to get? Claxton, Spencer Dinwiddie, right? Where Miami, they would get Tyler Hero, right? They would probably get one of their young shooters too, probably either Vincent. Well, they're all free agents, but it'll probably be a sign and trade like Vincent or Strus or Martin. They get Hero. They probably get a lot of picks. So I think that's a better deal for them because, again, Tyler Hero is a really good young shooter in the NBA. So I think if there's a team that's getting him, it's Miami.
Caleb Martin would be a really good part of that package because
it would have to be because the problem is it would have to be a sign and trade because they're all free agents like Martin, Vincent, and Strus. Mm-hmm. But I think they do get Hero and one of those shooters plus like 4 first-round picks, so like 3 first-round picks.
Fair enough.
Which to me, Maddie, in the NBA, I think that's insane. How teams just throw 4 first-round picks at a player or 3 first-round picks. But in the NBA, if a guy goes for 1 first-round pick, that's nuts. Like teams just throw first-round picks, Maddie, like they're going out of style.
You get a first-round pick. You get a first-round pick. You get a first-round pick.
Suns, Maddie, you know when their first pick that they actually own is?
When?
2031.
What?
Yeah, they traded all their seconds, all their pick swaps. It's nuts.
They're dead.
Brooklyn's getting them all for Brooklyn's got all their first for Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And now the Wizards got all their seconds for Bradley Beal. And
See what the Phoenix Suns are doing is they're just tearing their future apart.
Well, no, what they're doing is they're trying to beat the clock on the new CBA. Did you hear about the new CBA?
I heard something about it, but not in full detail.
So kind of what the rule is now is it's going to kick in like 2 or 3 years, right? Because these CBAs don't kick in like instantly. But apparently what it is they're trying to limit the amount of max contracts a team can have.
Yeah.
For this exact instance, because the Phoenix Suns, Maddie, they're 4 players. They're big 4, right? Like DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, Maddie, combined are making $200 million.
Wow.
They have 3 max contracts on their team. The new CBA is trying to say you cannot have more than 2.
Which is fair.
Which I get. They're trying to still narrow out some kinks in it because they're trying to figure out, like, what about a team like the Celtics that drafted their whole young core? They drafted Smart, they drafted Tatum, they drafted Brown, right? Why should they be penalized because they were good at drafting and developing, where teams like the Phoenix Suns brought in 2 superstars just like that? So they're trying to figure out, like, how teams should be compensated because, like, which I agree with, right? Like, I don't think the Celtics should be penalized if they want to give Smart and Tatum a max deal. Because they drafted them. Like, what do you want them to do? Draft them and then just sell them? Like, if you draft them, you should be allowed. So they're trying to figure out some kinks, but the new CBA is trying to stop super teams. So the Phoenix Suns are saying we're going to do this before the new CBA kicks in.
Well, fortunately for the NBA, super teams haven't really worked. I mean, we saw it happen in Brooklyn, didn't work out. We have it in Phoenix now. We don't know how that's going to go. I mean, there's still, but I get the whole thing. You don't want teams to be overpowered anymore, which I like, because if teams were overpowered, then it would be it wouldn't make the NBA fun at all. So Adam Silver is trying to do his best to prevent that from happening and basically cut out dynasties. And I like that, because if there were dynasties of just continued dominance throughout, like, one thing I love about the Chicago Bulls dynasty, and if you watch their docuseries Last Dance,
they drafted him now.
They drafted Jordan. They drafted Pippen. They got Dennis Rodman. They did everything they could to get.
The thing is, Dennis Rodman wasn't a superstar, though. He was an average player. But they're 2 superstars they drafted. Same thing like Boston. They drafted Pierce, but they got Garnett, right? They didn't draft Garnett, but they drafted Paul Pierce, right? And then the same thing. They drafted Jaylen Brown. They drafted Jason Tatum. Same thing with Denver. They drafted Murray. They drafted Jokic. They drafted Porter. Like, the Warriors drafted Steph, drafted Clay. Drafted Draymond. Like, this is what happens, right? And, like, that's the only problem in the NBA now is, like, and the other problem out is there's no hard salary cap, right? So it's like the Phoenix Suns. If you have a rich owner who literally doesn't care, like, this is why, Maddie, the MLB is afraid of Steve Cohen, because they know when there's people out there that literally just throw out money like it's nothing, they're afraid of them. That's why none of these sports teams want Jeff Bezos anywhere near any NFL team, any MLB team.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Because he just won't care. You think Steve Cohen's nuts? Jeff Bezos is going to double what Steve Cohen's payroll is. Because in these sports outside the NFL, there's only a luxury tax. So, like, you can have as much money as you want. If you go over, though, you have to pay a percentage of that to each NBA team. Which, if you're Jeff Bezos or if you're Steve Cohen, who have multi-million dollars, it's like, oh, what's an extra $2 million?
Right.
That's the problem. That's why they're trying to do this max contract thing. Because you can't implement a hard salary cap when the league has been established for what, 100 years?
Mm-hmm.
Like the NBA has been a thing, Maddie, for 100 years, and they've never had a salary cap. You can't just put it in.
No,
like, it doesn't work like that. You would have to start fresh. Like, you can't just be like, here's pick a number, right? Like $500. Like, here's let's just say $200 million salary cap. You can't go over this. Like, it's a hard number. You can't do that now with some of these players in the league. You have to start fresh, which obviously you can't either. So they're screwed. So this is their new compensation for it.
Oh my goodness gracious! All right, so we've hit the hour. This has been a great conversation. God damn, please don't own a team, Jeff Bezos, please.
No, dude, I want to see it, dude. Imagine Jeff Bezos on the baseball team. Just imagine. We see what Steve Cohen, Maddie is giving Verlander and Scherzer. I'm just imagining. We joke about the first $100 million a year contract.
Yeah.
Bezos would do it.
Bezos would do it, and he'd give it to guys like Justin Jefferson, for God's sake.
Stare Ohtani right in the face, Maddie, and be like, here's 10 years, $1 billion. Have fun. He would do that. You would damn well know he would.
I know it.
That's sick guy. But dude, that would be fun. But like, I don't know what I'd do.
Oh my God.
The Yankees and the Steinbrenners have been used to running this. I don't know how they're competing with Jeff Bezos. I don't know how the hell that's gonna happen. You should buy the A's, move them to Vegas, Amazon State, Amazon.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
That's what he should do. He should buy the A's. I'm speaking into existence. Jeff Bezos is buying the A's, moving them to Vegas, making Amazon Prime Stadium in the middle of Vegas. That would be nuts. That would be insane.
Oh my God,
that would be nuts.
That'd be nuts. That'd be crazy.
In one of the biggest cities in the world, like just not like big, like you know what I'm saying, like the biggest like party city in the world, right? Vegas.
Right.
Amazon Prime Stadium, right in the middle of it, like how Allegiant Stadium is right in the middle of Las Vegas. Like that'd be nuts.
Oh my God, that'd be
crazy. Please do it. I'm speaking it into existence, Maddie. You need to do whatever the hell wizardry you do. You need to get this to happen.
I'll petition. I'll make a petition.
Put it on Twitter.
I will. All right. Anyway, that was all the time we have for the show. But before we go, let's get into our sponsors. So, Siriani Sports is sponsored by the following: DAS Technology Consulting, simplifying technology; Valix Enterprises, building products for success; Jag-One Physical Therapy, official therapy provider for the teams you love; the Grace Foundation of New York, support, empower, educate, enhance; Integrated Planning Group, client-focused, advice-driven; Rocco's Original Italian Ices, a sweet summertime treat all year round; and Outback Steakhouse, Aussie rules. All right, so I'm going to get us going because we're a little bit over time. So if you want to follow me and Ryan and all the cool stuff we do on this channel and beyond, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please follow us on Facebook. Please follow us on Instagram. Please follow us on all our socials. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much for everything. Do it, please. We have a lot of fun on this channel. Lauro was very busy today. He couldn't make it. But anyway, from Ryan Barron Jr.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. Anyway, from Ryan Barron Jr., I'm Matt Siriani. Thank you so much for watching for the time being. Thank you to Steve Barth for joining the show and giving me 20, 30 minutes of his time to talk about the Staten Island Baseball Senior Games. I hope to see you all there on July 14th, which is Friday at 7 p.m. It means a lot to these kids. It means a lot to the community of Staten Island. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to a lot of the people on the spectrum and beyond. Please support the cause. Anyway, have a great night. Take care. And, of course, peace out.
Have a fantastic night, everyone.